Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Ask Joseph Land Insiders Club show again this Monday. You know, it's a great day to be starting a week and coming on here is just a thrill of mine. I'm telling you what, and we're here for some really good stuff today. I am not kidding you all. You're going to hear some breaking news and all kinds of good stuff about what people are doing. So Joseph, I want to say, hey, it's Monday. Let's have a good day.
Thank you, Tom. Great to have everybody on the call today. There are a lot of you on the call live, but there are going to be thousands of people listening to this call all across the world. We're so excited. You know, I have friends in Africa who are a part of this, and Pakistan, and all these places, and so it's just really encouraging to see people getting great information, great encouragement from our Insiders Club. And, you know, Jennifer and I are so excited about this. And this has kind of been a lifelong dream of mine to have something like this that encourages people and to give away what we know. So we're excited to have you guys on today. Jennifer and I are just coming back from a trip. We were out in Phoenix, and a lot of you guys have probably seen some of those pictures, but last 2 weeks ago, we had one of my dear friends and partners and entrepreneurs, Mikhail Jessen, on this call, and he described to you about his business and some of the things that he's done and some of the things that we've done as I mentored him in his process. But he and his wife, Crystal, got married over the weekend out there, and Jennifer and I were there. We were there for the whole shebang. It was great. And if you've ever been to an Arizona wedding right at sundown, it was just gorgeous. It was outdoors. We had the time of our life and met some fabulous people. And we were able to spend that quality time with Mikhail and Crystal, and to see them get married and see the Lord bless the whole circumstance and the ceremony and everything was just amazing. But Jennifer and I came home late last night, and we're up and at 'em today, and we're excited about this call and all of you. And today I want to continue that line of thinking and offering with another entrepreneur, someone I've known for years. And I'm excited that he has a friend of his on this call today to explain their business. Now, what I want to always do on this call is make this call available to entrepreneurs who want to talk a little bit about their business. Now, what I want you to know is I'm not pushing anybody's business or any of that. I'm just proud of people who have a business and who want to be successful with it. And I will do anything to help anybody who has any kind of business become more successful, because that's who I am. And, when you look at the system of how I operate and how I've been able to help people, my system works in any business. And so it doesn't matter what business it is, it just works. And today, I'm meeting this guy for the first time. I've seen him for the first time, but I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with a guy that you're going to meet. But first, I want to introduce my 35-year friend and partner, Tony Fightmaster. A lot of you have heard Tony on this call before. But I asked Tony several weeks ago to tell us about the silver business and the gold business and all the things that he was involved with. And as I've told you, I think during these times, it's great to own some silver, great to have some extra food, great to have some ammunition, great to have some water. And it's great to have some silver and gold and some things that you can use to trade if our money was not good. And I'm just going to be totally forthright when I say it. So Tony Fightmaster, welcome to the call today. Great to have you on. I know you're going to introduce our guest and your business partner, but we're excited to hear. Get your notepads out, everybody, and take a few notes here, because this is going to be a quick, but it's going to be very dynamic in the presentation. So Tony, take it away.
Well, thanks, Joe. I sure appreciate our relationship and your mentorship, really, over the last several decades. And as I shared before on here, I've been involved in ministry my entire life, and probably about 30 years ago, I decided that I would diversify and find ways to create cash flow to support my ministry habit, I guess you could say. I've seen other people whine about their situation. And I just, everything I read and everything that I absorbed as I was growing up from my father and my mother, and then everything I began to read 40 years ago, showed me that I needed to take responsibility in my life and not point the finger at others, but take responsibility. So I began to diversify and create other income streams while I worked here at the university and served in churches. And so I've not been afraid to look at other things, to evaluate, to listen. I've gotten burned a few times. It's okay. That's life. But a little over a year ago, my friend of 30 years, Jim McClellan, called me from Hawaii. Now, I've known Jim for several decades. We went to the same church together. Jennifer, his wife, served in children's ministry in our church, and she served here on the campus, and she orchestrated MIA trips, we call them missions in action. So she took kids internationally to minister. And so just a phenomenal family. And Jim worked for UPS. He started working for UPS when he was a college student here at the university. And I got to know him very well. And he was just one of those solid guys. And when Jim and Jennifer retired from the university and from UPS, they just minimalized and went to Hawaii. And they have been enjoying Hawaii now for about 4 years, right, Jim?
A little over 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit over 4 years. But Jim is an entrepreneur. He's always looking at other things. And he called me a little over a year ago about investing in silver and gold. And I didn't pay much attention initially. My mind was other directions. But he touched base with me and just shared with me what was going on. And I decided, well, I'll go ahead and put my toe in here, and I'll begin to invest in sound money rather than, just have everything in fiat currency. And so I'm going to have Jim share what he's learned over the last several years in this industry and what he connected me to. And Jim, I believe Joe is going to allow me to share the screen. So I'm going to try to bring up these slides. I'll let you say hi to the folks, and then I'll try to have the slides ready.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Joe, for having me on. Hey, it's still dark here in Hawaii. Greetings from Hawaii, but I'll guarantee you it'll be 80 and sunny today. I know you guys were talking earlier about what you're going to wear, but I never have to worry about that here in Hawaii. I'm in board shorts and a t-shirt most of the time. So I love it. But anyway, hey, thanks for letting me be on the show today. I know your show is really exploding, and a lot of people on here are looking for multiple streams of income. So I'm going to share real quick with you guys what I've done over the last year and a half. I didn't know much about gold and silver. And when I say gold and silver, I mean physically having it in your hands, right? So I started educating myself back in May of 2020 about the value of gold and silver. Okay. So I just started learning about it through a membership-based company. And I started to realize that, I think, Tony, weren't you on the show before talking about the benefits of a defensive strategy and an offensive strategy with gold and silver? Okay. So
I was, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just start off by saying, like I was with my daughter and son-in-law a couple of weeks ago in California. And this is kind of how I'll bring it all together for you. We were driving down Pacific Coast Highway, and it's one of my favorite stretches of road from Newport Beach all the way down to Laguna Beach. And we're just having a good time. Their dog is in the back seat. He's got his, his head out the window. And we're going to stop off at Ruby's Shake Shack to get a double dark chocolate chip shake. And we watched the people down on the sand. We're up on a cliff, and you're looking down. You can see my passion is like, I love the ocean. I love the outdoors. So that's another reason why we moved to Hawaii. Well, we're having our shake and we're having a good time. And then we start heading back home. And Jansen, my son-in-law, pulls off and gets at the gas station, and he fills up the tank. And, we all see these things here, the $100 bills, right? Well, it was $100 for him to fill his tank up. And I remember back in the day when it would be great to have a $100 bill in my wallet. Wow, That would be pretty awesome, right? But today, you can see how our money, the purchasing power of our money is just going down and down and down. You go into the grocery store, you pick up one of those little baskets and you walk through the store, and you don't even really fill it all the way up, and it could be $100 easily. So we understand that our money's not going as far as it used to go. The dollar has lost, you can see there on the screen, around 96% of its value since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. So if you look there in 1913, a dollar was worth $1. Then you look today, well, it says 2013, 5 cents, it's closer to 2 cents now. So I think it's a good idea that we take some of our paper money and we do other things with it. I know a lot of the wealthy people, they like to invest in real estate, fine art, collectible coins, things like that, because they go up in value over time. So that's what I started doing. My wife and I, we started just purchasing physical gold and silver. But why would you want that? I mean, I know the dollar's crashing, but Tony, go on to the next slide for me. Okay, so in this case here, you see in 1965, 25 ounces of silver. This is a 1 ounce silver coin. I don't know if you can see that. 2,500 of these, or $2,500 would buy you a Ford Mustang. Fast forward to today, you go into that same Ford dealership with your $2,500, and I don't know if you'll get the tires, but your 2,500 ounces of silver will buy you 2 Ford Mustangs. You see, silver and gold, they maintain their value over time. Flip to the next screen there, and then you'll see, we'll give you a gold example. In 2001, you could buy one house for 626 ounces of gold, or a house that cost $169,000. In 2021, with less gold, you can see there it's only 579 ounces of gold, will buy you 3 houses at $347,000 each. So it is a wise thing, just to start taking some of your paper money and putting it into gold and silver for the future, for your family's wealth in the future and your future generations. So saying all that, I mean, I have examples for you of bullion coins. Bullion coins are a defensive strategy. It's for when times are tight like they are now with the money and with the dollar. So you want your bullion coins, right? I just picked up this kilo bar. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is 32 ounces of silver. And I just have that just for a defensive strategy. Okay. I also have collectible coins. Now, keep in mind, I didn't know anything about collectible coins 2 years ago, but they have a story behind them. They have a low mintage, and they kind of go up in value faster, and they have they have that story. So this coin here, I don't know if you can see that coin. Can anybody see that coin? Is it kind of a glare?
Mm-hmm.
We all good? It's a 4-leaf clover, and that's a special coin for me because when I was growing up, my mother, we'd always go out in the backyard. We lived in Illinois, and we were on 5 acres. And we'd always look for 4-leaf clovers, and she always found more than me. So this is a special memory of my mom, this coin. So I'll always have that coin. Here's another coin, a history coin. It's a George Washington coin. It's a beautiful coin. It's made in a mint in Germany. And I don't know if you can see all these very well, but they hold their value when they go up in value. Not every collectible coin is going to go through the roof in value, but a lot of them do. Like, for instance, my latest one. I don't know if you can see that. It's an owl. You can see the eyes popping on it. So this coin here, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really want it, but I knew this collection. It's called the Hunters of Night series. And the first coin was a Black Panther. And this was the second coin. I paid $499 for it. And that was like a month and a half ago. And I know it's a hot series. It's selling for $2,200 2 months later. I'm not going to sell it, but I'm just saying there is some upside to the collectibles. Now, I know in today's world, you know, a lot of the bullion stuff is what we're really after, but it's nice to have some collectible coins too. And I found a membership-based company that I can trust because, you know, a lot of people tell me that, oh, I want gold and silver. I just don't know who to trust or who to buy it from. And is it fake? Because 60% of coins out there today on eBay are fake and people don't even realize it. So I found a great source and I'm having a good time, my wife and I. And, you know, it's just another stream of income for us in the future for our family to pass on to our family. So Tony, I don't know if you have any, if you guys have any questions, or I think that I want to just wrap it up with that. I don't want to give you too much information, but.
Jim, thanks so much. Thanks so
Jim,
much.
that was an excellent presentation. I love the two Mustang.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
And that's so true. And I want to recommend to everybody who's on this call and everybody who will listen to this call again on the recording, there's a book you need to read that just absolutely verifies everything he's saying to you. And it's called The Creature of Jekyll Island.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the Federal Reserve was established, or the idea was established. And it will change your mind about fiat currency and how we've been manipulated as a society and actually harvested all these years, our fathers and forefathers and all of us. And people like Jim McClellan and Tony Fightmaster are getting wise to it, and they're hedging their bet. And so are Jennifer Land and myself. And so, Tony, why don't you tell people how they can get in touch with you? Those of you who are listening on recording, and Jennifer, my wife, I want you to get involved in this, and we need to start buying some of these coins from Tony's company and support him. People who support our Insiders Club, just like Terry and Terry Sell Tea, immediately when they presented their business plan, you know what I did? I went on their website and bought a whole bunch of tea. And so, Tony, I'm going to support your business too. Jennifer Land's going to support your business. So, Tony, why don't you tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and how they can, buy silver or gold or whatever they want to buy?
Sure, Joe. I put in the chat my cell phone number, and I also put in my personal email number. I've also put another website there that they can go to and click around. There are a number of videos, short videos that have a lot of information about what you can access. I'll be glad to send those to you, and they'll just give you information. That's not a commitment to anything. One of the things that I decided really a while back, after a few, let's just say the bottom dropped on a couple areas that I had invested in, and I had been following good people that had made some mistakes. I love them all, give them all grace. But I just decided I'm checking everything out personally from now on. I'm not trusting anybody, even though they're good people. I'm not trusting anybody. I'm doing my own due diligence, and I'm going to take personal responsibility. So I began to do that. And that's what I encourage everybody to do. No one offends me by checking things out and asking questions that are maybe hard questions sometimes. So I just put my information up there, Joe, and folks can contact me if they'd like, and we can get more info to them.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Jim, for that excellent presentation. Does anybody have any questions for Tony, or any questions I could help you with that regarding this presentation? If you do, speak up. If not, if you'd like to offline, do it privately with Tony, that's great. I understand that as well. But I want to get into, if there are no questions, Jennifer, you have a
Shane has a
question?
question, Joe.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of a general overall question, but what do you and folks associated with this recommend as a percentage of overall assets to invest in gold and silver?
Wow, that's a good question, I think. Jim, you've been involved longer than I have, and you are working with people that have large assets and have gone this direction. What are they doing, and what are they thinking these days, Jim?
I've always heard some of the people that I've talked to about 10% in precious metals, maybe. I mean, I don't really keep track of it too much. I just purchase whenever I want to, whenever I have a little extra here and there. But I think 10% is what I normally hear.
Thank you.
I'm not sure.
Joe, you're muted.
Anybody? That's great. Great question, Shane. Anybody else have any questions for Tony or for Jim before we kind of move on? Well, guys, thank you so much, Tony and Jim. Thank you so much for that great presentation.
Thank you, Joe.
And-
Thanks,
And
Jim.
Thank you.
and we look forward to. I know Jennifer and I look forward to buying some of your product, your metals product, silver and gold. And we sure appreciate you being on and offering to talk to all of us about this and educate us about this, because, you know, we don't know everything, and this is how we learn from each other. So very excited about it, and thank you for that. Now I want to go into what I call the Ask Joseph Land part of our show today, where you can ask me questions. And if you don't have a question prepared for me today, I have someone who asked me a question, and I wanted to share some things with you after that. So anybody have any questions for me today that you want me to answer regarding yourself or your business, or something someone told you? Any questions today? Hey, Terry. You need to get closer to your microphone.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. So we had asked you a question regarding the value of our company, about not sacrificing it for somebody else that gives us, like, we have an 80-20 split with anybody we do business with.
Right.
So this one company said that, you know, I do usually do 30-70. Well, then you gave us some advice and said that, you know, your example with the trucking business, when that certain company was giving lanes out and
Yes.
they wanted them as cheap as possible. Well, Carrie has a cleaning business, and one of the ladies that she goes to, it takes about 2.5 hours to get there one way. And Carrie charges $35 an hour. And with the gas prices, Carrie figured out, well, I'm only making 22. Well, so she had a talk with the lady, and she did exactly what you said to do. And her reaction was, what? What do you mean you're not? I can't get anybody else. I don't want anybody else. Yes, I'll pay what you're asking. So
Exactly right. You added value.
right, right. And, you know, the advice that you give out is rock solid. And I just wanted to let you know that we do appreciate you and the advice that you give. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know, when you're talking about your tea business, and I'm excited to get our tea, hopefully we'll have it this week. But
Yeah.
Terry are in Canada, for those of you who are listening by recording, and they have a tea business, you know, hot tea, iced tea, hot tea. And so I'm very excited about the growth of their business and how they add value to their business. And sometimes when you're starting off a business, you might have to sacrifice something on the front end before you add that value too. In other words, there might be a deal, your percentage might be 80-20. You're giving, the customer an 80-20 deal, the client an 80-20 deal. But there might be one or two you need to take it a 30-70 deal to move a little bit of volume to create that value, and then say, hey, listen, times have changed. I know, you're loving our tea, and here's kind of what our program is across the board. And people usually come right up to that and meet that because of just what you suggested. They don't want to lose you. You're providing a great service. And Jennifer Land, I want to have that conversation with you, with Carol and Andrea, who also work with us because of the cost of gasoline. So, but that's exactly right, Terry and Terry. You add value. You add value in such a way that the client says, "Oh no, man, I'm not about to change." If it's an extra $10 for gas, or if it's an extra $5 for packaging, they're willing to stay in the game with you because of what you bring to the table. Does that make sense?
Very much.
And then and you present it in a way that it's a win-win. You're not trying to gouge anybody. You're just trying to stay in business, for goodness sakes, trying to make a living. And so it's like my story I told you a couple of weeks ago with Walmart. Hey, I'm not trying to gouge you. This is what I need to stay in business. And guess what they did? Man, they came to the table when things got tight and said, hey, you were right and we were wrong. And it takes a great company to admit sometimes they're wrong, but sometimes you have to pursue other avenues that see the value in what you do and are willing to pay for it, right? And so that's what you do as an entrepreneur. You work through those things. I had someone ask me, I want y'all to get out a pen and paper because I feel like I'm supposed to tell you this today. I had somebody ask me over last week, said, would you please describe your secret of being healthy and fulfilled, and you look so happy in your life, and give me the secret that you have. And I thought about it for a little bit, and I said, well, the first thing is this. Here's what I'm asking myself every day when I wake up. Here's the number one thing I ask myself when I wake up in the morning. Are my habits, are my actions, are my behaviors congruent with the vision that I have for my life and for my family's life? Right? Did you hear that? Are my habits, actions, and behaviors congruent with the vision that I have for my life with my wife, and for my life with my family? Because if there aren't, you're kidding yourself. You have to have great habits, you have to have great action, and you have to behave in a way that helps you become what it is you want to become. Does that make sense to you guys? So before I start telling you the secrets, that's the first and foremost thing that I do every morning when I wake up. And I call this mirror meditation. I look, everybody wakes up and brushes their teeth and looks in the mirror. I look in the mirror and I ask myself, Joseph, are your habits, your actions, and your behaviors congruent with what you want for yourself and your wife and your children and your family this day, and your associates? Are they congruent with that? And if they are, man, I'm going to win today, right? So my 5 things that I want to tell you about that I really focus on, with that being my mirror meditation, is number 1, I want to have a spiritual time every morning. Every morning I wake up early You might not be a morning person, but you need to have a morning time. And preferably I wake up early and I get in tune with the Creator. All right. The other thing that I do is I have a core group of people who lift me up and encourage me and edify me in what it is I'm trying to accomplish for myself and my family. Now, here's my groups. Joseph Land Insiders Club. You guys encourage me. I get so many great messages from you guys, encouraging me to continue and be all that I can be. Number 2, I have a men's Bible study every Monday morning at 7:30. I don't miss that. It's my time of being encouraged and edified by people who love me and care for me and don't judge me, right? And so the key thing for me was removing the toxic people from my life who tended to want to judge me instead of lift me up and love me and encourage me. And so it's so important to have that core group of people like the Joseph Land Insiders Club, where you guys encourage me. Shane, you've been a great encouragement to me, and different ones of you, all of you. And then, to have that men's group that I attend every Monday morning, and it's online. So that's number 1, having that time daily with the Creator and having that accountability group. Number 2 is health must be our most important attribute with being able to fully function at a high level in a business or providing for a family or anything else. And see, my saying is you don't need medication, you need education, right? You don't need medication, you need education. When we go to a doctor and the first thing he wants to do is write out a prescription, we say, whoa, we're in the wrong place. So that's why we use an integrative physician who takes both approaches. And see, here's what I know. The best and most efficient pharmacy that you could have is your own created system, immune system that God created in you to start with. And it comes from the plant kingdom and all the things that and you'll figure that out later. And so my advice is to stop filling our temples with toxins, and it'll heal itself. Your body will heal itself. And eat a good, clean diet and supplement if you are led that way. And here's what I know, and you'll agree with this, is that our fathers and forefathers and grandfathers had more nutrients in their food supply than we have today. So if you aren't supplementing your diet with good, organic, holistic new supplements, you might be falling behind. So that's something to consider. Jennifer and I were just in Arizona. We spent 5 days and 4 nights in Arizona. We ate healthy there. We ate at True Food in different places, but we didn't eat completely healthy. And so guess what we're doing today? We're on a juice fast, holistic juice fast, cleaning our temples, because if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else is, right? If I don't take care of me, who else is going to do it? Nobody. And so health is very important. The third thing I want to tell you is get some exercise daily. You don't have to train like a professional athlete. I'm not telling you to do that, but take a walk. If you're married, take your wife's hand and take a walk, get in a few steps. And too many, let's see how I want to say this without ever offending anybody. We too many people are in front of the computer and the video games and the TV instead of getting out and getting some exercise and taking a walk. One of my goals tonight is before I go to bed is to take my wife and take a walk and get in at least 6,000 steps, before I go to bed tonight. So I know that during the day, walking back and forth into the restroom and doing my work and whatever I do, I'm going to get in 3,000 or 4,000 steps. And so my goal is before I go to bed every night is to try to get in 10,000 steps. Do I always do it? No. But you know what I do? I try and I get in some, and so I'm getting some exercise, right? And there are all kind of apps on your phone that you can use to measure what it is you're doing. But again, nobody can make you exercise. Nobody can make you do things. But if you think about, and Shane, I really feel sorry for you because you're in Nantucket and you have to take these walks in these gorgeous scenery up there. We all feel sorry for you, by the way. But I was talking to Shane and she said, I just had a long walk. And so, you know what? It's invigorating to get out and take some exercise, see the trees and scenery. And sometimes Jennifer and I will just take our shoes off and get in some healthy grass and just get grounded, and there's so many great ways to heal your body and to do things, but exercise is one. The fourth thing I want to tell you to do is get passionate about something. Get really passionate about something. Get passionate about what it is you're doing. Get passionate about your family. I mean, Jennifer and I combined have 8 kids. We're passionate about our children. We just had one leave here. We're passionate about our family. We're passionate about our business. We're passionate about our careers. We're passionate about our friendships. We're passionate about our faith. We're passionate about using our business as a ministry to encourage and lift people up and bless people. We're passionate. So what I'm telling you is to be passionate about something. Man, when people hear you, I mean, let me give you an example. Did you hear Jim talking how passionate he was a while ago when he put up the Federal Reserve and the decline of the dollar, and then he put up the Mustang, and how you could buy 2 now? I mean, man, that got me fired up. I mean, that's being passionate and having the right information about what you do. These guys, Tony and Jim, were passionate about their business today. All right, so that's number 4. Number 5 is to be grateful. We all love our spouses, but my wife told me 3 or 4 times over the weekend, I'm just so grateful for our marriage. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for our family. And, when you work on being grateful and thankful, you don't have time to be critical of anything else and others. We got in an Uber and we met the coolest guy, and he just ministered to us. And we were so blessed, and we prayed with the guy. We were so blessed by just how every little thing we could see something to be grateful for, and I'm going to tell you, Wednesday, we're going to the funeral of one of my best friends. He was my barber for 35 years, my hairstylist. I don't think they call them barbers anymore. He was my hairstylist, and he also cut my wife's hair. He was the best of the best. And you know what? He got sick and he's no longer with us today, but we can celebrate. I am so grateful for his life. I'm so grateful for his influence on me and my family. And I'm so grateful to be able to celebrate his life with his wife and his children. If you harbor ill feelings towards someone, it will absolutely eat you up. I want you to listen to it. If you harbor ill feelings towards someone, it will absolutely eat you up. I'll say it another way. Unforgiveness does more harm to the vessel in which it's stored than the object on which it's poured. People that you feel hard toward or ill toward, they don't know it. It's just eating you up. It's not eating them up. Hey, let it go. Let it go and let the toxic people in your life go. Just work on improving you and everything else will be fine. Work on improving yourself and work on finding the good in someone and edifying them regardless of what their feelings are toward you. And you're going to be great. And then the last thing I want to tell you guys is don't die with the music still inside of you. If God has put a dream in your heart, don't go to your grave without giving it a shot. I'm just really convicted about buying some silver from Jim and Tony on this call here right now. And so that's my private business, but I'm just telling you, I'm really convicted by that. And I'm not going to die with having that knowledge and not taking that chance and that kind of investment, But anyway, that's just me. But don't die with the music in you. If you've got a dream in your heart, if there's something you want to accomplish in your life, go for it. Go for it. Who cares? Let me tell you a story. I wanted to play professional baseball. Guess what people told me in my town? Hey, man, nobody from our town ever made the big leagues. Guess what I did? I kept working toward that dream. I was going to die trying. And guess what? When the Dodgers drafted me, guess what all those people said? Oh, man, we knew you were going to do it. Right? If you will pursue your dream, if you will take that music inside of you and go for it, you're going to be successful. Let me give you another example. When Major League Baseball was no longer a possibility for me, I got started in the transportation business. Guess what? Several of my friends told me, man, you don't know anything about the trucking business. You're going to lose everything you got. And I said, man, I'm so broke, I can't pay attention. I'm living in the travel trailer at the campground and I don't have 2 nickels to rub together. What have I got to lose? But man, I got that music in me and I'm going for it. And so guess what? 7 years later, we were rolling, revenue increasing every year, almost doubling every year. And all those people want to work for my company. You see, if God is moving you and you got the music in you, go for it. Don't die with the music still inside. Don't be fearful of taking that opportunity. Some people call it a chance of taking that opportunity to be all you can be, because when you step out in faith, God is going to come right along beside you and be there with you and bless you in what you're trying to do. So I was reading this morning about faith and having that faith to step out and do what it is you're fearful of doing. And that's when the opportunity comes right alongside you and helps you get to where you want to get in your life or in your business. And I've seen it so many times. And so did everybody get all these points down? I hope this is helpful to you guys today, because I look at this and I tell myself, this is what I want to review. But I want to go back to the first thing I said. And if you will do this, man, there have been some times in my life I've had to take a hard look at myself in the mirror. Hey, listen, there's no power in position. There's no power in money. There's no power in things. There's power in being humble and vulnerable. When I can tell you where I am at my life with the assets we've accumulated and tell you, hey, man, I've had to look in the mirror and have a hard conversation with myself many times in my life. I would look at myself and say, what on earth are you doing? You know better than this. That's mirror meditation. And now I look in the mirror and say, hey, are my habits, are my actions, are my behaviors congruent with what I really want for me, my wife, my family? Hey, it's about me. It's me in the mirror. And if you will do that every day, if you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and ask yourself that one question, you'll be surprised at what you can do. I mean, I come from a town of 2,500 people. My father worked in a mill, you know, and I built a $200 million company and a $140 million company. And the one I'm working on now will be bigger than all those. But it's all about having that dream and that music inside you and going for it every day and saying, I got to line my habits up and my actions and my behaviors today with what it is God's called me to do, because I know I know that what I'm doing is going to bless some people. So I hope that's helpful to you guys today. And I'm gonna stop for a little bit, and I'm gonna do you have any questions for me or anything regarding what I just said? Tom?
It's, I really enjoy everything you talk about. And I see the look on people's face, and on this screen, I see people, and I heard people today that said, if I remember correctly, Joseph, you helped me with this, you helped me with that. You've been around for a long time. You've helped me. I think everybody on this screen will testify to the fact of the power of what you've been doing to help them in their lives. And here's what I want to challenge each and every one. I know Justin already, I had a phone call with Justin earlier today. And Justin says, I promise I'm going to have 20 people next week on the show. And I said, okay, it's each one of us will reach one. And each one of us, if you've heard something here today, or ever since this thing started, you've been getting nuggets of golden opportunity, to grow and to enrich your lives. I encourage you, there's no charge to be on this show. They don't pay anything. All it's going to cost a person is 1 hour on a Monday. You know what I mean? And I realize Monday's tough for a lot of businesses in the morning time, getting started. But how many of you people enjoy coming here for 1 hour? 1 hour, right? A week to enjoy what you're listening to. And I've got really big ambitions for the Ask Joseph Land Insiders Club. I'm fixing to start my TV show. And one of the first shows I'm putting on my network is going to be this one, and that's to 196 countries, 24/7, all day long. And this is the kind of thing I envision in this club, us having breakout rooms where people that want to talk to Tony, people that want to talk to Tom, Shane, they'll have a room where you can say, and people want to go. We'll take time to send people to your room so that they can come talk to you about the power of what you're doing through the power of what you received here. So this isn't just me. This is all of us. And really, this is your network. This is a great networking opportunity. You think this is a good networking opportunity? I'm going to put you all on the spot, folks. Really, seriously. Raise your hand. You do? I do. So in that situation, I really want us to start reaching out and telling people, if you really enjoyed this, go tell somebody, man, hey, I really enjoyed it. Come on Monday. The link's in the chat box. So if you already have it, I want you to copy it. I want you to paste it. I want you to send it out and tell people, hey, man, you just got to come on. We're having a blast. And each one of us are gaining tremendous value. The thing that we talked about today, and I'm going to go after this, the 7K medals. Okay. I got introduced to that not too long ago, and now I'm in negotiations with actually marketing that company. And I'm talking with their marketing person right now, because this is that, my friend, what they've told you today is real. It's genuine. Look it up. But I'm telling you, if you want to add value to your life, the biggest secret to adding value to your life is adding value to somebody else's life. You will get ahead a lot further in this life if you're doing something to help somebody else get ahead of the game. And that's what this is really all about to me. And I think that's what it's all about to you. So, I've been on events all weekend long. I've been on events with 900 people in a room on the event, everybody having the opportunity to mingle and talk and share. This is the kind of thing that I want to see this become. This is my passion. This is my desire to help Joseph Land get this message out. How about all you guys? You in? I'm in to win. And I want to say thank you, because all you guys are brilliant. You guys are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you're highly, highly favored. I'm going to tell you this, you're highly, highly favored of God to be here today. God wants to put us in the room so he can help us get ahead, helping others. And that's why I always pray, Lord, lay somebody on my heart. and love that soul through me, and let me do my part to win that soul to thee. And if you do that every morning, every night, I guarantee you God's going to put somebody in your path so you can shine a light. So thank you very much for letting me have my 2 cents. And you guys continue to bless. I love talking to you. We're going to be having Joseph on the Business Innovators radio show and the network show Rise Up, and get this TV show broadcasted out to millions. So thank you for you guys being a part of this. And I want to say, God bless you.
Thank you, Tom and Tony Fightmaster. And it's great having everybody here today. Tony, would you end our call in prayer? During these times, here's what I want to make sure everybody understands. If you're secure in what you believe, then what somebody else believes can never offend you, right? And so in my life, I want people of all denominations, all faiths, all everything on my Insiders Club. You know why? Because I learned from them, and I'm secure in what I believe, and I want to learn from what they believe, so we can make the world a better place. And Jennifer and I have friends all over the world who will be on this call who have different faiths from us, maybe some, but they respect what we believe. Isn't that cool? And we respect what they believe. And we can all become better when we ask God, the God that we serve or you serve, when we ask God to bless us and our friends on this call. So Tony, would you end this Insiders Club today with a prayer, and pray for our nation, and pray for people all over, and pray for people all over the globe?
Right. Will do. Thanks. Father, we just pause as we close our conversation today. We again want to acknowledge you and honor you, and admit that we're not God, you are. But we invite you into our lives, and we invite you to use us to be a blessing to someone else, as Tom mentioned. Use us, God, today and this week to bless people, to make a difference where we are. And we ask you to be with people that are suffering all over the world, in Ukraine, in Russia, and here in the US, Lord. We have people around this globe that are suffering, that are looking for answers. And we ask you to bring answers to them, bring solutions to them. And we ask you to use us to be solutions for those that we can influence. We ask this in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Hope you have a great week. You have encouraged me greatly. This is where I get my encouragement, as I said earlier, from this group. And just love you guys. Hope you have a beautiful week. And we'll see you next week here at noontime on the Ask Joseph Land show. God bless you guys.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you on a Monday.